Welcome to Treasure Coast Community Health, with 7 locations to serve you better. We have a dedicated staff. And now, here's your host, CEO Vicki Soulé.
And welcome to Community Conversations. You know, as I listen to the intro, I think 7 locations. Well, actually, we do have 8 centers, but I think we should start looking at counting our county partnerships with the Intergenerational Center, the Technical College across the street from the Gifford Health Center, and Operation Hope as maybe extensions of our service sites, as we've been there so regularly over these last 3 months giving COVID vaccination and drive-through events. However, they still belong to other partners, and so all I can say is when you need us, we'll try to be there. So please get your friends and family to do the most obvious safety factor in the world, and that is getting their vaccination. We know that there is a lack of interest in this now, but the reality is it really doesn't hurt, and it can do so much good. So there's my soapbox for the day. Today, I am happy to have an interesting partner, Heather Stapleton from the Heritage Center and Citrus Museum. So this is like, we've never done this before, Heather.
Oh, yay, I get to be the first. Yeah, I loved how you were talking about community partners. You know, the Heritage Center was the community's original community building. That's what it was originally named. And I just feel like we're all about community. And I think COVID, has really highlighted that and given us a chance to re-examine what does community mean and what kind of role can a building and a museum play in building community.
Well, it's all about relationships, but relationships have to have a place to blossom. And so you have provided that place despite COVID for a long time now.
So the building was built in 1935.
Whoa, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was almost knocked down in the late 80s. And the Historical Society, led by Millie Bonnell, really had this huge effort to save the building.
That's awesome.
It was a pretty ugly public battle, but they did not give up. And look what we have today.
Yeah. No, it is definitely one of the little gems of our downtown, although it's not in proper downtown next to the movie theater. Got to go down the street a little bit, but I love what you do at Christmas with all of the things that coordinate with Main Street Vero. So
we love working with Main Street Vero Beach. Definitely a big partner of ours. We probably are in communication, via email and phone at least twice a week because, it takes all of us on 14th Avenue, the businesses too, not just the nonprofits. We're all down there together, and we all want to
it's a wonderful place to gather. You know, my first exposure was just a little bit further at the park with the big horse because we had a little one at the time when we moved to Vero.
Okay.
And so Pocahontas Park was like the place for us to go every day.
Yeah, we feel really lucky. We get to hear the squeals of the children all day long in the museum. Oh my gosh, they love it though. They just love it. And sometimes the families, after having visited the park, will come visit the Indian River Citrus Museum. And we do have children's activities in the museum as well. So we can accommodate all ages.
So I have to be very honest. I was fortunate enough to be sponsoring Coffee with the Mayor last week and was in, as I have multiple times, been in your big centers. So tell us a little bit more about the Citrus Museum, because that's really where it's happening.
It's pretty quirky. We call our museum Micro and Mighty. And so it's a pretty small museum, and it tells the story of Indian River citrus. A lot of people assume that Indian River citrus means that it comes from Indian River County, but that's
sure.
Yeah, it seems like it should, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the case. So we have 5 citrus districts in the state of Florida, and the Indian River District is actually a 205-mile stretch along the Indian River Lagoon from just south of Flagler all the way down to the very northern portion of Palm Beach County. And so if the citrus is grown within, it's very narrow, very, very narrow stretch. If it's grown within that region, it may legally use the name Indian River because the name is protected by the Federal Trade Commission. Though there's 5 districts, we're the only one who have the privilege of having a protected name.
And I'll bet you're the only one that has that wonderful snapshot edition swimsuit edition, sorry, swimsuit edition outside, which really evokes those memories of the 50s and 60s when town was, really booming with citrus endeavors.
Citrus kept increasing up until about 1976, and unfortunately ever since then. And not just due to development. A lot of people want to blame development, but actually some pretty serious citrus diseases. First, canker, and now we have this terrible bacterial disease called greening that really is wreaking havoc on the citrus industry.
But they're not giving up. As I went out 60, I saw a lot of small protected trees.
It's actually very exciting. Greening, the disease, has forced growers to once again be very experimental and to try new things and be innovative. And so they're not giving up. Citrus and all of its related industries for the state of Florida is still a $6.5 billion economic driver.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the trucking and the shipping and the cardboard box building and all of those things together. So it's definitely worth saving. And it's such an important part of our heritage. I feel privileged to be able to operate the one and only Indian River Citrus Museum.
So tell us what kinds of things. Well, first off, let's take the money aspect away.
Okay.
Is there a small nominal fee to get in?
We offer free admission.
Free?
Can you believe it? Thanks in large part, we do get a grant from the Tourist Development Council of Indian River County, and we're so appreciative of that. So that is helpful. And this year, we've been able to get some different kinds of grants from the Florida Humanities Council. So yes, free admission. We love donations, of course.
Of course. But it takes away that barrier to say, it's so little. Why would I pay to go in there?
Right.
You don't have to. Come on in.
You don't have to. Okay. And I guarantee you by the end, you'll probably reevaluate that statement. Most people, once they do the tour with us, they do end up plunking a little something in our donation jar. And we're so appreciative of that.
So when you talk about a tour, are you the lead docent for this?
I get to be a docent, in addition to filling out grants and, all kinds of other things. I wear multiple hats. We have such a small staff. We're a very small organization, and our volunteers are starting to feel safer returning, which we are appreciative of.
Yes.
Thanks to the second shot, yes. A lot of them are coming back.
Good.
We still wear masks, and we have air scrubbers on all 4 of our air handlers.
Okay.
But yes, sometimes I get to get away from my desk and give a tour also.
And I know you love that the best.
I love it.
You're a people person. So do you anticipate that you're going to need more volunteers as we go into next season?
Yeah,
perhaps?
We're definitely going to need some more volunteers. I think our visitation numbers will start increasing. Right now, they're still pretty low, I admit. And to help combat that, we recorded an oral histories project, which you can find on our website.
Really?
And we have taken the citrus crate labels and made them larger than life and are placing those around town. We have 3 right now that you can walk to, but eventually they will be a driving tour for the entire county.
Awesome.
And then finally, to help expand our reach, we offer private appointments. If you just don't feel comfortable in a small indoor space with strangers potentially, you can give us a call. We'll schedule just for your group. We'll lock the door so nobody else can come in. And I guarantee it'll be fun. We'll give you all the juicy details.
Oh, a little play there. So do you find that you have a lot of family groups that come in?
We do. We get it's a lot of grandparents with visiting family around, winter break and spring break and things like that. We do. We love, of course, our locals who bring all of their guests. So they return multiple times with new sets of guests. So new to us visitors. So
as we get through the school year and we start expecting our grandkids to arrive, is this kid appropriate? I mean, is this one of those, are we done yet?
I guarantee you we will engage them. We created a really fun, it's a hybrid scavenger hunt bingo. The kids just love it. And many of the kids insist on getting what they call a blackout in bingo. I had to be taught this. A blackout is when you've been able to fill in all of your bingo squares. Oh. So they're not satisfied with just a 1-row bingo. They have to get a blackout. So they have a lot of fun with that.
And nothing breakable in there?
I mean, not that they can reach and touch, it's not really a hands-on museum, but it's a very engaging museum nonetheless.
That is so nice to know because, again, we have gotten to limit our world. And even in driving, there are lots of people here, and we hear about accidents, unfortunately, every day.
No.
And so the idea of piling the kids in the car and going 40 miles, for me at least, is a little overwhelming. And I can imagine that would be nice and convenient.
Well, it's
for
very
our
convenient. We're right next door to the playground. We're right next door to a big, beautiful grassy lawn.
So they can run off all the energy and then come see you, right?
There you go. I like that idea. And there are lots of great restaurants on 14th Avenue that are open for lunch. So you can make a little afternoon of it. Yeah.
So tell me, do you have things like citrus products for sale inside?
Oh, we do. We pride ourselves on our gift shop. Our gift shop is exclusively all Florida made. Mostly, I'd say about 90% are actually made right here in Indian River County. And probably equally about 90% are from women-owned companies.
Well, how cool is that?
We're very proud of our little gift shop. Yes.
So how long has you talked about the building being there in 35, and you said that, we almost lost it in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So how long has it really been the way it is now in terms of
the museum opened in 1993. So between, I would say, like 89 and 91, there were some big renovations going on to the building. It had fallen into disuse and thus disrepair.
Like a storeroom for the Heritage Center?
Well, I mean the whole building itself, not just the museum, the whole building.
And we're going to talk more about the building itself. I love that building.
Yeah, but fun, the room which is now the Indian River Citrus Museum most recently was the dance studio where Chris Sexton taught dance lessons as part of the City of Vero Beach Recreation Department.
Really?
And prior to that, during World War II, it served as a serviceman's lounge. The entire Heritage Center was a de facto serviceman's center.
Like a USO kind of thing.
Yes. I don't know that it was ever sanctioned USO, but yes, exactly like that. We had 27,000 men and 900 women. How about those odds? At the Vero Beach Naval Air Station out at what is now the Jackie Robinson Training Complex. And we were the Servicemen's Center.
Yeah, because not all that far.
Not all that far, and just a great, awesome, huge, beautiful indoor space. And the building was used quite a bit until it did fall into disuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things certainly shifted between the mid-40s and the 60s there.
Leisure Square was built. What we now call the community center was built. And so with brand new, shiny, attractive places, I guess we kind of fell out of favor. But, it's exactly the qualities that perhaps had fallen out of favor back then, which make it so endearing now. People just walk into the place and they can feel how special the building really is.
So the building itself, again, my familiarity is with the bigger part of the building. When we first moved to town, you're right, it was okay, nothing special. But then I remember when you guys started to change up the flooring. I mean,
well, it's restoring the flooring. So that flooring is the original 86-year-old floors, believe it or not.
Kidding.
But a lot of work has gone into restoring those floors and keeping them updated and maintaining them. It's quite a challenge. Obviously not during COVID, but prior to COVID, tables being moved around, chairs being moved around, high heels, it's 86-year-old floor, it's taken a lot of wear and tear, but that's all part of the story of our amazing building.
Well, we're going to talk more about that amazing building after we take a short break from our sponsors.
It's been a long year.
It's weighing on everyone.
You are not alone.
Constantly listening to media coverage and scrolling social media can make you more anxious and upset.
Your concerns are valid, and whenever you're ready, we're here for you. We're all in this together.
Let's make this your best year yet.
Please call 772-217-3663 or visit mhcollaborative.org to find the help you deserve. Let's talk about it.
Hello,
Florida. This is Carol Jean Jordan, your tax collector here in Indian River County. All of our offices are scheduling appointments for in-office services, but you can get that little yellow sticker quicker by using our Express Lane. It's fast, convenient, and free when you pay with an e-check. Renew your registration on our website and select Pick Up at the Tax Collector's Office. Order before 3 p.m. and you can pick up your little yellow sticker on the same day. Order at irctax.com. That's irctax.com.
Hi, I'm Vicki Soule, CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Treasure Coast Community Health has been serving Indian River County for 25 years. How did we get here? It took a commitment to you to provide you with the most affordable, high-quality, integrated network of healthcare available anywhere. It took board-certified doctors and dentists and a dedicated staff to ensure that you receive the best possible care. It took more locations to meet the need, and now TCCH has 7 locations, with the latest one conveniently located down the street from Cleveland Clinic Indian River Hospital. Our services are available to everyone, whether insured or not, and at TCCH, no one gets turned away due to an inability to pay. We rely on donations from generous benefactors to continue our much-needed work. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and almost all insurances. Call us at 772-257-8224 or visit us at tcchinc.org. And welcome back to Community Conversations. This is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, and I say that with great pride because we provide medical, dental, behavioral health, all kinds of primary care services throughout all of Indian River County to all people, regardless of their ability to pay or the type of insurance that they have. We do take all kinds of information, yes, for that too, all kinds of insurances, but we also make sure that everyone is treated with care and respect as if they're in a private practice, but with much more convenience because we do integrate our services so you don't have to repeat the same things over and over again. And if you're in our dental services, you may have your blood pressure taken and be advised that you need to maybe check in with your primary care doctor and modulate your lifestyle through their guidance and or medication. So it really is an integrated one-stop shop, regardless of where you're at or who you're seeing currently. Consider us as a viable option. We're here today with Heather Stapleton from the Citrus Museum and the Heritage Center, and that, again, is a vital part of our community. And Heather and I were just talking over this short break about the Citrus Museum and how, as wonderful as it is, because it is free, it's really the bigger part of the building that keeps you alive and well financially.
Correct. Yes. So it's really renting out that amazing, beautiful space for all manner of events, whether it's a nonprofit event at an extremely discounted rate or a military discounted rate or just a private event. So we have all manner and all ages. So maybe a retirement party, maybe a Sweet 16 birthday party, maybe the Latin community celebrates the quinceañera, the Sweet 15. So we're there for anyone and everyone who needs a big space, and it's air conditioned. So a lot of huge spaces are not air conditioned. And when you think about events in Florida, air conditioning is important. And speaking of those air conditioners, thanks to a grant from the county, we were able to install COVID prevention technology on all 4 of our air handlers just to help people, feel safe. We are doing what we can to keep people safe.
And that is absolutely a key part of it, although I personally like the little patio that you have outside through the double doors.
Yes.
Because you can see what the little ones are doing, but you don't have to have them running through.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful space. That patio is included with your rental for sure. And the beautiful grassy lawn just beyond that.
Nobody cares if they run.
Kids are kids. If they need to be out there and running, get out there and run around. Yeah, we love that little patio. And sometimes people will tint that or decorate that. It can look so beautiful. That's one thing that's a real asset of the Heritage Center. It's kind of a blank slate,
It
open
really
to your
is.
imagination.
Those big open beams, I've seen those decorated at least a dozen different ways. And you walk in and it's not about the beautiful flooring, which is beautiful,
Yeah.
but it's really because you can decorate it any way you want.
You can. We have had everything from a steampunk themed wedding to a very modern, Vero Vino event to very romantic weddings and everything in between. It really is up to your imagination.
And one of the things that is a more recent addition is what you guys have done to help us as business people do presentations with that audiovisual equipment now is like top notch.
Thank you. We've even been able to use it for a hybrid event. Indian River County Chamber of Commerce did a hybrid business at breakfast. Their sponsors at that point were not allowed to go out to events yet. That may have changed, but at the time, their sponsors zoomed in on that big screen.
How cool is that?
And it just happens to be my bankers. They were huge, larger than life on that big screen. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It went really well.
Well, I know it's top notch because it's way beyond my capabilities. I had to have my IT person come over and say, Sam.
He handled it. Yeah,
absolutely.
He was great.
Well, because it is what we expect these days. And it is absolutely top notch.
Yeah, and thank you for that recognition. With a historic building, sometimes incorporating things like that are difficult, but you're right. It's expected these days, so we need to make that available.
So moving forward, what other things do you see in the near horizon, 6 months to 12 months out?
Well, I'm very excited about the Vero Heritage Citrus Label Tour. That's the driving tour. That's going to be our big effort now that we're recovering from COVID and we can, work with the manufacturers and get those out. So those will be found throughout the county, which we're really excited about.
Yes.
People just love those labels. They're not made anymore, and it's a real sense of nostalgia for people. So definitely improving and expanding that, and hopefully expanding the Oral Histories Project on our website. That's been a real interesting addition.
Tell us your website address, please.
Yes. It's pretty simple. The name of our nonprofit is veroheritage.org. And people can give us a call to make those tours at 772-770-2263. We always love welcoming new guests into the museum.
That is so wonderful to hear about because we're all itching to get out and do something different. But this is both modern and history. So it's just perfect. Thank you, Heather, for telling us about it today.
Well, thank you so much, and recognizing that we're also part of the community. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. So thank you all for staying with us till the end. And next week, we'll do something different, as always, in our community conversations. So have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you then.